when no one's around. It's just you and your shadow. What are you gonna do, man? When everything says quit, keeps you going.
Life is going to test that will. Every time. Life is going to see how bad you want what you say you want.
It's how we deal with these things in life that we find out who we are.
Every time you hit a low place, don't those voices come back up again? Every time things go wrong, don't those voices come back?
You start saying to yourself, I'm a mess up, I'm a failure, I'd be better off not being here. We just keep feeding ourselves this toxic thinking.
You have never changed your belief, and you will never completely be healed or whole until you change the voice inside of your own head.
No more bowing down to whatever unhealthy or unproductive thoughts float through my mind. No more waiting for the perfect moment, and no more indecision, and no more lies. No more weakness. No more. Now is the time for strength. And through strength, and through will, and through unwavering discipline, I will become what I want to be. I will become who I want to be. And then, and only then, will I rest and say, no more.
You should fucking quit. You should quit fucking quitting. Any path you take to get where you want to be, if that place is worthwhile to go, it's going to be fucking hard. So quit judging your quitting based upon how hard something is. Because every single path that you could possibly take to get somewhere where you want to be is going to be hard. Struggle, pain, misery, frustration, those are signs that you are on the right path and making progress. Nobody that is where you want to be has gotten there without these struggles, without the bleeding, without the pain, without the depression, without the misery. Nobody. And if you want to be something great, you are going to have to learn to accept the struggle as part of the recipe. Every single day you need to look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, what am I willing to do to get what I want?
There's nothing as powerful as the human spirit. You can't destroy it. You can pervert it, but you can't destroy it.
If you lose the job, keep the faith. If you lose the spouse, keep the faith. If you have to downsize, keep the faith. If you have to move in with your mama, keep the faith. If you're at your wit's end, keep the faith. If you have to catch the bus, keep the faith. If you have to dub, keep the faith. If you get sick, keep the faith. If you lose your kidneys, keep the faith. If you got heart trouble, keep the faith. You might not get a new heart, but you gotta keep your faith.
If you can't fly, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. But by all means, keep moving.
99% of people are not willing to do what it takes to make their dreams come true. The center of bringing any dream into fruition is self-discipline. You know, something as simple as food and eating is not about your body as much as it is about your mind. It's getting command of your mind to be able to choose actions that are in your own best interest.
And I think the word discipline has kind of gotten a bad name. We think about it in terms of punishment. I'm not talking about discipline in that way. I'm talking about discipline in the sense that you forego immediate pleasure for the exchange of long-term self-respect.
You cannot win the war against the world if you can't win the war against your own mind.
I don't believe in the word procrastination. Like, I don't really believe in that word. I told a young lady in Australia who told me she was a procrastinator. I said, look, if I told you to meet me here tomorrow at 5 a.m., I'm gonna give you $3 million. where would you be? She said, I'm gonna be right there at 4:59, ready to get that $3 million. And I said, so there's no such thing as procrastination. What it is it's not important to you. Right? It's not meaningful to you. It's not something that's urgent to you. And when something is not urgent, you put it off. So yep, you're in school, yes. You probably are getting grades, etc. But if it's not meaningful to you, if it's not important to you, then you're not gonna make it a priority. So what you have to do is find out, how can you make it meaningful? How can you make it purposeful? How can you make it stick? And when you can find that out, I promise you'll get up early, you'll get there first, and you'll do whatever it takes to make that goal a reality. So for me, no such thing as procrastination. It's a such thing as it's not a priority to you.
There's no other way around it. If success is the result that you are ultimately seeking, you must be obsessed with the process. You have no time to let fear, doubt, failure, quit, negative thoughts, or give up enter into your mental. See, you have massive potential. So from the moment you open your eyes in the morning, your mindset has to be win.
Find time to better yourself. Read, explore, research, live life, do things you've never thought of doing before. That's what it's all about. When you're born, that's that date that they put on the left side of the tombstone. When you die, they put another date on the right side of the tombstone. But that dash in the middle is the most important thing on that tombstone. That is a line that throughout that entire time frame, you were able to impact and touch others' lives. You were able to leave your mark on this earth. You were able to build a legacy that nobody could change. You were able to have it to where people remember who you are no matter what. When you're living for that dash in the middle, you're gonna remember your why. Your why you're here. Not the why did you do something? Your why, your reason for getting up in the morning, your reason for pushing yourself past the brink of exertion and giving up. Your reason for moving on and getting things done in life. That dash in the middle, that's the thing that pushes you.
Trying to get them to focus upon positive things. And we sort of laid out a list of positive things that she might think about. And she said, oh, Abraham, I don't want those. I've already got those. And what she really meant was, the things that I want are the things that have not yet happened. And we want to help you to realize that if you're thinking about things that you want from the standpoint that they have not yet come to fruition, that they are still missing in your experience, then you're holding it in a sort of suspended position where the distance between where you are and where it is not closing. So what we're wanting you to realize is you have these patterns of thought, and law of attraction is helping you to sustain the pattern of thought that you have. A belief is just a thought you keep thinking. And so early on in your experience, by your exposure to life, you began developing some patterns of thought. Sometimes they were carefully taught to you by others. Sometimes it came because of something that you observed and then talked about and then remembered and then attracted again and then talked about it and then remembered and then attracted again. In other words, life is very interesting here, isn't it? Because you can't talk about anything for very long before it begins to replicate itself in your life experience. And it's what makes you develop your patterns of what you call truths. You say, at first I wasn't sure, and then I pondered it for a while. And once I gave it my attention, I began seeing evidence of it everywhere. And now I believe it, and now that I believe it, it's manifesting in my experience. And we say, that's really wonderful, isn't it, if it's stuff you want? But if you are repeating patterns of thought about things you do not want, and in your environment, oh, you are very, very good at that. You have this sort of mass consciousness theory that goes like this. If we don't beat the drum of our history, we are sure to repeat it again. And we say, the contrary is true. The more you beat the drum of anything, the more you activate it in your vibration. The more it is activated in your vibration, then the more law of attraction is matching you up with things like it. And the more law of attraction is matching you up with things like it, the more you observe it. And the more you observe it, the more you talk about it. The more you talk about it and observe it, the more you beat the drum of it or offer the vibration of it. The more you offer the vibration of it, the more law of attraction matches you up with it. The more law of attraction matches you up with it, the more you're living it, the more you're talking about it, the more you're beating the drum of it, the more you're offering the vibration of it. This gathering, we're calling it the art of allowing, but what it really means is the art of telling a different story. The art of telling the story the way life has helped you carve it out incrementally, but telling the story with your words, with your observations, with your expectations, with your vibration. Then when law of attraction is responding to your deliberate offering of thought, now you're getting what you want, not just what you're observing. Are there things in your life that are as you want them to be? Keep telling that story. Are there things in your life that are not as you want it to be? Don't tell that story. You cannot choose something that feels better until you are aware of what you are choosing. So, relief is the order of business. What do you want to talk about?